Hiya, Maya. It is Wednesday, January 15th. Here to yak at ourselves again. And yesterday was quite a journey, and was still a bit kind of PO'd about it, so I don't want to talk about it again. So we're going to talk about something different that I was thinking about that's hopefully a bit more helpful. Let me grab my little note here. And that is that to get the job and keep the job, you have to speak the language. A lot of times we hear that, we think like being bilingual, and there's many different ways to be bilingual. The obvious, speaking other languages, English, Spanish, French, German, whatever. But I learned some sign language in high school. I wouldn't say I know sign language, but I can speak to deaf people. And in that way, it's like a visual language, and you realize there's other ways to speak the language of your job. How to keep it is part of that. If you're not a hustler, don't get a job that requires you to be fast-paced. If you don't have a lot of patience, and you know that, customer service is probably not where you want to start. I realize some people have to take certain jobs and roll with it, but if you're looking for something, maybe understand what language you speak and find a job that needs that. There are warehouse jobs that don't mind the way people sound like they're messing with each other back and forth. It's a camaraderie thing. Like construction sites, things like that. It's expected. And it's a playful thing. It's jovial. Hopefully no one's getting or, feels hurt, but there's more polite arenas where you would never expect people to speak that way, and so you need to speak that language. If you're not good at driving cars and you're super hesitant, don't be a valet. Just like that, speak the language of the job that you're doing. And also understand while you're at work, people that come to you are coming to your work, not to you. They don't know you. And I listen to a lot of people mention that they feel like people are being rude to them, picking on them. A lot of times when you're in the phone part of customer service, people are already mad before they dialed the phone. I know on my end as a customer, it can sometimes take 20 minutes to get through the robots and the automation. And maybe the human beings don't know that part. Sometimes I think that a lot of us don't know that the background music I've been listening to for 35 minutes has driven me crazy by the time you said hello. And so I might come at you some kind of way. I don't know. That's not acceptable, but it might happen. I worked many kinds of jobs. customer service. I was the one answering the phone. At one point, I was the one and only office worker. Any phone call that came in, whatever other duty I was doing, I had to answer the phone and be at my best, because these were incoming clients for long-term contracts and things. It wasn't ever going to be acceptable to answer the phone with an attitude because you interrupted what I was doing in the other room. Like, you knew that when you called me, right? No. So sometimes I had to be the more gruff side of it. Oops, sorry. Because I had to collect monies from other office workers who had no idea what I was talking about, and so we had to start at the beginning with paperwork. And I can feel as upset as I want about it, but it's not going to get me anywhere. And in fact, it's smoother if you keep your cool, and so speak the language of your job. I can remember a few instances where customers went off in my face because they were pre-mad, or a rule made them mad. Not my rule. I worked in a public gas station. We require ID. I can see that you're old enough to smoke, sir. Yelling at me won't change the fact that if I don't ID you on camera right here, I will lose my job. Yes, I know you make more than I do. And I can see your gray hairs, and I know you come here all the time, but you don't seem to be hearing the part where, for such a simple thing, I, the peon hourly worker that's praying I get anywhere near 30 hours a week, I will lose my job because I didn't ask you for an ID that you clearly don't need to show me. I know, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's like sitting at a red light at 3 a.m. all by yourself in the middle of nowhere, waiting for the light to turn green. However, the moment you decide that you're going to say, F it, do it, that's when the cop shows up. I don't know what Matrix stuff that is going on, but if you've ever had a grown man yell at you about his missing pineapples, and he's so passionately just so angry, it would have been very easy to fire back at him about his pineapples, but the fact of the matter is that over an hour and a half's worth of time, 2 other employees had dropped the ball, sent me to fix it, unprepared, unknowing, and this man was rightfully so very upset. And yes, the subject was pineapples. And anybody who orders their food and wants it a certain way can understand. And I was able to calm him down. I mean, his wife had to come grab his shoulder and get him to stop yelling in my face. And I get mad at him, it's just pineapples, but it's not. It's not just pineapples. It's quality control. It's speaking the language of your job. He'd already waited that long for me to bring a repeat order that was, again, not what he ordered. And he let me fix it, and I was really grateful for that. And I fixed a lot of coworkers. mistakes because I'm good at customer service. It didn't pay me more because I get paid per, tipping. You don't get tipped by angry customers, so I lost out by smoothing things over for other people, and my bad. But I thought I'd probably do it again because I love the job, and you got to speak the language of the job. I have a sibling who is a waitress for a waiter, waitress. I don't know what they're. Anyway, for many different restaurants, and I don't know that I've ever asked them if they loved it, but I know they were dang good at it, and incredibly presentable. And I can understand some of these young people, they just want to talk. They just want to be the way they want to be. I get that. But the jobs require you to talk to the generation above you. That might be your job. That might be how the customer service works. The people are older. They don't understand your vernacular. They're not trying to insult you. They're not sure what you said. They're not trying to come at you sideways. They're not anything. It's just a different language. It's like a whole nother... they're from another world, and on the regular, when you're like in public somewhere like the grocery store with each other, sure, maybe they're being rude to you, but if it's at work, no, that might be just how it goes. So you just gotta speak the language of the job. I'm trying to figure out what that means for what I do now. I'm in a very different job than any of the others I'd have, and I would, not in a rude way, because it is my parent that I am a caregiver for, but I would probably take back one of my other jobs if it paid me enough to make it worth it, to pay someone else to be here. I would do that because it was more peace of mind for me, which made me a easier person to be around, because me doesn't like myself sometimes when I get short of everything, attention, short of all of it. So I speak the language of the job, I think might be the theme right now. Which is why I put this cool little dictionary up here, Thorndike Century Junior Dictionary. It's got quite a inspirational little thing in there. It says, to the pupil. Let's see if I can get my phone to let me read it. This book has been written for you to help you learn the meaning, spelling, and pronunciation of words. If you find anything, come on, phone. If you find anything in which is not helpful, I shall be glad if you will write and tell me. To make the book easier to use, there are a number of simple explanations on the pages with cool little Roman numerals 7, 8, and IX. I mean 9. Isn't that neat? You could write to the publisher and let them know, this part did not work out. This was written in 1935, so it's like the beta version. Of a junior dictionary for, I believe, primary school. Wicca, old school. It's like a 90-year-old book. Right to the publisher. Still in beta version. Anyway, I'm going to sign off and figure out more what I mean by that, to see if we can make this ride a little a little smoother. Because after yesterday, that was difficult, and I did not sleep well. I still feel angry, and that kind of makes me feel childish, but since I have to be the grown-up, I will try to do something different and make jokes if it makes me feel better, because I am quite the critic of me and myself, and I guess someone has to play Simon. It's a chipmunks joke. Okay. Have a good night. Wednesday night. And try to be more flexible than this book that is so old I cannot open the spine. So, yeah. High hand touching. Good night.